just tell me a little bit about what you guys have been going through.
So the people started watching the tornado, what about like a week or like for a couple weeks. And it's kind of interesting because a newbie Floridian is way different than a Floridian that's lived here forever. Everybody around us is like, no big deal, this is gonna be we're gonna be fine, and
Don't worry about it too much. And
yeah. And we ended up all being caught off guard,
everybody
every single person. We stayed well, so first of all, we booked an Airbnb in Orlando a few days before the storm actually hit, and we were going to evac. And then
preliminary accounts were showing a trajectory toward Tampa at first. So when we saw that, we always told ourselves when we moved down, if anything was going to come right at us, we would just, because we don't have any experience, we would just evac. So the first two, until we got a feeling of how things worked, we'd just evac, whether it was big or whether it was a little. So we saw one that was projected toward Tampa, and this was very early. So I went ahead and booked something just outside of Orlando. And then all the predictions changed and started moving it more and more west. So then we started relaxing and, still trying to put stuff up just in case. But after talking to our neighbors and being reassured that, it would probably be okay, I think we were going to intend on hunkering down.
yeah, so we stayed actually up until the morning the storm actually hit. I think we left at like 8 a.m. We just got up and we were like, you know what, this doesn't feel right. This is our first hurricane. We're just gonna go, right? And we knew that there was going to be a storm surge, but we just didn't understand what that meant and like what the severity of that meant. And I feel like a lot of people, even that have lived here for years, didn't understand. So we left. And it didn't really hit us until later that night. We were in contact with our neighbors, and we got some rain, a little bit of wind. It wasn't hurricane rain, wasn't hurricane wind, so people were still pretty relaxed. And it started to come up a little bit, and then it was over the road. And I think within an hour from starting to rise, it ended up being 5 feet in our house. So we were in Orlando. We knew this had happened, and we had that booked for till Saturday. So we stayed. You couldn't even get back to where we live because the bridges were closed. They had to inspect those before we could get back. And
there's three main large bridges that connect St. Pete to Tampa, and they had closed them during the storm.
Yeah, so we just came back, and it's been a very humbling and experience, from the moment we got back, like literally the moment we pulled in our driveway, our neighbors were there, they were talking to us, and everybody has just come together, because we didn't really know what to do. Obviously we couldn't be there. I mean, we ended up losing about 90% of our belongings, and our entire house is like a shell at this point. There's no broken windows, no broken doors, but so we've spent the last several days basically sifting through our life. And 90% of it went to the curb, enough stuff that we put up a little bit. We're going to save, which a lot of it was actually family pictures, which that was amazing.
Keep for that.
We moved here a month ago. We've only been here 1 month. We were not even unpacked. So thank God we hadn't gotten those pictures out of the tubs, because they're good. And honestly, that's, all that really mattered. And so, yeah, I mean, we have 3 kids, 18, 16, and 4. The older kids came back one time. The 4-year-old has never seen the house. He kind of has no idea what's happening.
You're trying to keep him from that.
So, I mean, it's a process. It's still going on, and it's new and it's confusing. We're waiting. You have to wait around for abatement companies and insurance companies and adjusters and contractors. And so we are just basically in limbo. Immediately we had to find somewhere else to stay. So we found an Airbnb, which is where we are currently. We have to leave here on the 4th, and we actually don't know what we're going to do for 9 days. We're working on that, but then we were able to find something for about 45 days. So then we'll be good through November 26th. So, we're just you do what you can do, but I will say that the most amazing part about this is the people. I don't, the stuff in the house, and like it's devastating, but the thing that has brought out the most emotions is actually like the support.
The
I mean, yeah,
generosity,
everybody's been amazing. Like
the
the,
volunteering.
like I said, we've been here a month, so it's not like we have like a huge tribe. Well, we didn't think we did, but we found out that we do, through my job. I work at Creative Play Learning Center, which is a school, and the teachers and just the families of the kids have been, outpouring outreach. And, we joined a CrossFit gym out here, Sunshine City CrossFit, and they have been amazing. The coaches have come out and spent hours, helping us. And so,
Just in general, man, the amount of overwhelming humanity that's been shown down here. There were people that were just on Sunday was a big cleanup day, over the week because things cleared up Saturday, and then Sunday. If you look around the neighborhood, everybody's pulling everything out of their house. Everybody's pulling down drywall. Everybody's got a couple friends over there. There were groups of people that would meet up at one spot for 2 hours. Then they go to the next house because they had a friend of a friend over there. And then somebody would text them, and it's like they're all going to meet over at this third house for a couple hours there. There was a guy driving around our neighborhood, awesome guy. He just went up to Domino's, bought like a whole bunch of pizzas, and was
pizzas.
driving around the neighborhood
Yeah.
handing out pizzas to people because he knew
Somebody
everybody's
else.
working and they'd be hungry.
Yeah, somebody else showed up with coolers of water, and
Our neighbors are fantastic. Oh my God. I can't begin to thank them enough. They've been
they've been, I mean, just outstanding, just,
taking our kids to their jobs,
Yeah.
bringing over a bunch of hamburgers for the group, bringing over coolers of
yeah,
water.
we lost 3 cars. We have 4 cars. We have 4 adult drivers in the house, and we're down to 1 car. We actually moved our cars to higher ground, like with a lot of other people. We moved it to a space where they don't get water. Actually, we moved it down to my parents' house. They bought a house about a block down, and they haven't even moved here yet. Their house, they're projected to move here October 11th. And so that's kind of delayed because they got it worse than we did, actually. So we lost 3 cars, and my 18-year-old daughter, she was supposed to be staying at their house in their garage apartment, so she lost pretty much like everything that she owns. And
All of her stuff was on the floor because there wasn't furniture in there yet.
and honestly, that's the most devastating part, right? It's like watching your kids suffer, and the things that they've saved. She's very sentimental, and those are the things that really like get you the most. But
And 16-year-old lost everything he had in his room.
yeah, our 16-year-old, he had the hardest time in the move. We moved here a month ago. I don't know if I already said that, but we've been here for a month, and one of his big connections back home was actually playing video games. He had a PlayStation and a headset, and so that's all gone. And I think those are the most heartbreaking things, is seeing your kids suffer, and like there's nothing you can do like right now, because
I mean, and it's stuff. So like, it's not about the
Yeah.
place, but that'll get replaced. It's just that like,
Yeah.
Looking at his face going, well, now I can't talk to my friends.
Right.
That stuff kind of hurts a little bit. And then, seeing your daughter, laying her entire library out to take pictures of it because all the books are destroyed.
Yeah.
And that stuff sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's the hardest part is, this is a process. It wasn't just us. There's like hundreds of thousands of, or million, I don't even know how many people are affected by this. So when something so catastrophic happens, there's all these people that have the same needs as us. And so we have no idea how long it's going to take to even start the process to, get our house in a position where we can actually go back to it. And so I think that's the scariest part is, you have a house, you have a mortgage that you're paying on, but now we have to figure out somewhere to live. And yeah, so I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a lot of information for one question, but
No, I just wanted to let you guys talk for a minute. That was, I'm so sorry for what you guys are going through. It's like you said, it's kind of just beyond comprehension, like even just knowing, hearing the warnings beforehand. A couple of things. So I thought I saw on your Facebook page about was that your chickens?
Yes. So we've had chickens for about 9 years, and we've had the same chickens that we brought down with us for several years now. There's one chicken, it's a silky. Her name is Belle. It's our 4-year-old's pet. He's had her and raised her from a baby. We drove them down from Iowa, got an Airbnb in Tennessee that took chickens, like the whole, anyway. So but yeah, so we, at the very last minute, we put the chickens up about a foot, and the water line was literally like about this far from the top. So they literally had to have been just like floating, but we assumed they were gone, but they all survived. So yeah, that was one positive moment.
So I mean, we just by math alone, we just figured that they were gone. And then it was 8 o'clock Sunday morning or something like that. But our neighbors had waded through the water over to check on our chickens for us. And I got a call, and she's like, "Well, I'm at your house and your chickens made it." And I was like, "How?"
Yeah, we were shocked. Like the pictures,
pretty
if
cool.
you saw the pictures, but yeah, I mean, it was just, yeah, we didn't think so, but so that was one cool thing, but
Yeah, that sounded like one little bright spot. And then, of course, so your son doesn't have to lose his pet too.
yeah.
I saw those pictures. I saw that water line and thought that was just incredible. Do you mind if we use those photos tonight?
Yeah, that's fine. I have other photos, but I have tons of photos, but yeah, no, those are totally fine to use.
Okay, great. If you feel like you have time to email any of those photos, we'd certainly appreciate having them. But I don't want to take up too much from you here. And then one of the other things I just kind of wanted to touch on, I think that that is really incredible that, having you guys are both from Iowa. Where are you guys at from in Iowa?
So we moved from Comanche, Iowa. And I grew up in Clinton, and then we lived like in the Quad Cities area for a little while.
Okay. So, we always in Iowa, we always have that talk about the Iowa nice, kind of the little Iowa nice motto. And so, I think it sounds like that was kind of surprising or just like I guess people are kind of the same everywhere.
There, we've definitely seen a awe-striking amount of amazing
Yeah.
from the people around us. It's been pretty spectacular,
Yeah.
just to see all the man hours that people are putting into helping people. And the people that I I think Sunday I met, 10 or 12 people for the first time in my life as they were walking into my door and grabbing gloves and pitching in. And that's what they do. I mean, there's groups that they just go from house to house and they just help people. It's actually really cool.
And my brother put together a GoFundMe account for us, which is something I would have never done. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's hard to ask for help, and just the support that we've already had. I mean, and those are the emotional moments, right? Like it's just stuff that's lost, but like just having people just lift you up is like just the most amazing feeling. And we're just so grateful for all of that, because it's just a bunch of bright spots when there's a lot of gloom around you, and because it's a lot, it's just overwhelming because you don't know what to do. You depend on other people to tell you what to do. And we've already learned so much, but overall, beyond the actual catastrophic event, our interactions with humans has been amazing. And so we're grateful for that.
I'm so sorry. And I know you guys you keep saying that it's just stuff. And I guess I think that's a great way to look at it, that you've as a family you guys have survived this. Um I I guess my heart just goes out to you because even though it's just stuff, like it's still traumatic. It's like such a
Yeah.
traumatic loss to lose everything.
He is, yeah, it is. And I guess like it's, for us, it was so close, right? Like we almost didn't leave, and there are people in our neighborhood that stayed. There was one woman across, the street from my parents' house where she had to hoist her large dogs onto the roof and sat on the roof for 8 hours waiting for somebody to come rescue her. And that would have been us.
Yeah.
We would have been on the roof with our 3
kids.
children and our 3 dogs and her 7 chickens. I don't know, but but I think that's where it is. It's like, thank God we did go, and we're okay. And And, you know, our main goal, their main goal in all of this is making sure that our kids don't feel it as much, you know, like,
Provide as
so,
much stability as we can.
you know, that's why we've been kind of spending a little bit more money on like Airbnbs right now. So we're actually in a house. It feels like a house. They have beds, there's stuff, you know, and so that's been our main priority. And that's kind of the most important thing for us, you know, moving forward.